So, hi everybody and welcome back to this Unreal Engine 5 tutorial series for absolute beginners. This is video 63 and in this video we are coding the created button in our last video. So what was this button? Here is this widget. It was our gameplay widget for our character, and we created this attack button here. And now we switch to the coding side soon, but not right now because we need an event. Why we need an event? Event means all time when you click this, it should automatically call a code, and that is all time made with this event. When we scroll here, select the button, scroll down, and then we have most time this events here, which is, like I said, an automatically activated coding script. And in our case, I click on this one, and you have to read which you need. Right now, I just demonstrate on click, but perhaps you need on pressed or something other. In my case, when I click on it, it should fire encode. And I click here, and you see what happens. It switched from the designer to the graph and creates this event node for on clicked. So all time when I click on this button, this will be fired. And what we want to do is now that it should play the attack animation. And the problem is we created this attack animation on our player character. So let's go back to our player character. This is the player controller. That's not the, this is the place where we want it. So if you don't want to switch it to the player controller, you can make it right now in the player character, but the player controller is a better place. That's why I'm making here. And let's see what we are going to do there. So I open first my, not widget, not my game mode. I find my player character, and I find my player character is here. It's this one. I open it up, and here I switch to not weapon attached. I switch to should run on server, also not. I switch. Where is the attack here? Oh, on top here perhaps. Attack animation left mouse. Yes, this is the place what we want, attack animation. And here is on left mouse click, we are attacking. As you see, we have set up a whole lot of code. Of course, you can copy this one here all to your player controller and set up here again. So an easy way is just copy this all. With copy there are some errors probably because we will not have these variables there and so on. But it's a way, so you can just do it because I'm too lazy now. What was that? This was the wrong copy. Let's do it again. So we select all here. Then we press Ctrl C for copy. We go to the player controller, and here you can press Ctrl V to paste in. And we see here some problems because I said we have not all here. The custom events are not here and so on. But this will work here. So let's cancel this one. You can make this here. That will work. This is perfect. And you should make this, remake this on your player controller, because this should be on player controller. But if you are lazy like me and you want for example do something else, there is a fast solution, but it's not very good. But in real process you should not make this one, but you can make it. Just make a reference to this place as a custom event. So what I'm going to do is I click here, I write custom event. Oops, when I write it right, custom event. So it pops up the custom event, and custom event means all time something that I can call, right? And in my case, play attack, let's call it not attack. What I write here, attack, and what we call it, just attack button one, something like any descriptive, something like descriptive button one, or attack button one attack. So I know this one will be attacked when I click the button. And now I replace this with my left mouse button. And I will call this custom event in my player controller. So with other words, what I'm going to do is here, I need a reference now to my character. So let's make a reference. A reference means all time because we are in player controller. We need a connection to this character and we get this all time with a reference, and then we have access to the all public values and this events what we have set here. So let's do this. So I make this a good place to make a reference is all time at the start. Let's make it here. Get player character, and this one will not work probably again in multiplayer because I just select here 0. We have to think later in multiplayer how we solve this one. Okay, then we this one is for single player setup. Later when we are in multiplayer we will check this here. From get player character cast to your character, player character, in my case Infinity Warrior, and this one is almost finished. We have set to one more step to make it easy to all time promote this to a variable. And why we are doing this, because now we have a variable of this one and we can use this one all time when we need it in code. That's also perfect. That's the reason why we do it. If we do not this one, we have all time go to this point and then make here all lines. That's annoying. That's why I make here this variable. And then after I made this one, I can do what? Actually, I want call. Actually, we could call directly here something, but the problem is we have to be careful. And why I say we have to be careful, it is important when to call it. For example, here it is creating the widget. And yes, but button attack. And the problem is when I click now the button attack, actually I'm on the wrong, I made something wrong here. The problem is I should call it here on the widget, right? But this is also a very bad place to call it. Because we should not call it here. Actually, I made something wrong. We should make here a reference to the player character and call it from here. Yeah, you can solve it in different ways. That's a good thing normally. Yeah, sometimes a confusing thing, and later you have to check where is the best place. Let's make the same thing here. Let's create here a reference to our character, but we have here already a reference. Ah, nice. Which means we have already created here on top already. Oops, this is... Yes, I have created here a reference to the character too, so I can use that already. Which means I just get here the warrior. I call from here my custom event, which was button attack. I thought I call it from the gameplay, from the player controller, but actually we call it from the widget when we press here. But of course we could send this one also to the player controller here with a reference and call it from the player controller, but this one is even more work. Let's do it now here. It's easier, which means I just connect this one here together. And yeah, actually that should be it. And then we can start. We can now focus. And now you see I have access, and when I click this one, I make now my attack. So with the mouse button here in the middle, it's doing nothing anymore because there is no attack involved anymore. I can still move the camera because that is still attached to the mouse, but attack is now here on the skill. And let's activate a bot. Where is this? Here is a, and bam! And one more note is this overlap events for, let's go there fast too, to the player character. no, not this player controller, to the player character. And what I did here is here should run on server. What is this? What is that? What we have here is not this one. Actually, I wanted to only show that you can use later a do once node. Actually, this is it. Here is the enemy character. So when the capsule cover, when our capsule this capsule here from our character is overlapping with the enemy, then we said it should decrease our life here. That was our setup. And the problem was it could overlap us several times. And there are different solutions, and a quick solution was, in my case, just make a do once node, which means if you put this one here, it will do all this one time, but you have it reset it later, so it can do it after a time again. This is not the best solution actually, but this is just to avoid that it's overlapping instantly few free times, so that our bot, which we can see here, let's start this one, is overlapping us instantly 2-3 times and we die here. But that was our setup. Now we have an attack, but in the next game what we are going to do is implement now an widget, or let's say so. Let's give this bot which we have here, or AI, give them life so that we can hit them and they lose life, and when they are 0 they die, something like that. Okay, I stop here with this video, and and if you have all-time question, ask in the comments, and if not, then let's see us in the next video, and good luck and bye.